What's on, ladies and gentlemen? My name's Ross, I like games, and today we need to take a little bit of a look at some new cards from BT7. And you might be thinking, well, hang on a second, what's it? We've only just seen the very first reveals from BT7. Well, yes, that's true, but we've now got some new cards. What am I going to do? Not show them to you? Doesn't sound like me. Now, we don't have the best images of them. We are doing what we can. But it turns out there's a new Nidhoggmon. Now, of course, we've seen Nidhoggmon before. One of my favourite cards we've had so far came around in green. But now, ladies and gentlemen, Nidhoggmon has come around in purple, which means I need to answer the question, am I more loyal to Nidhoggmon or am I more loyal to green? Not the biggest thing to ever worry about in the world, but still, that's what's on my mind. But we'll start off with the pre-evolutions here, and we've got a new Nidhoggmon. Now, we've got a 6 cost to play normally, 2 cost to Digivolve, 5,000 power level 4. So the 6 cost to play normally is quite expensive for a level 4, but it's not out of the ordinary. It's just on the higher end. I'm sure we will be fine. But Nidhoggmon here, when you discard this card from your hand using your card effects, if you have an Nidhoggmon scatter mode in your trash, you may play this card without paying its cost. Okay, there is a lot going on with this particular card. Now, one thing straight off the bat, and I wish I had a better answer for you here, but basically, we are going to be getting an Nidhoggmon scatter mode. We haven't seen it yet. At some point we will. We haven't seen it yet. So we don't really know what that does, and that does really limit the amount of analysis we can do about this card. If Nidhoggmon scatter mode is, to be fair, it doesn't even need to be good, it just needs to be in your trash. And then you get to play this for free. So the 6 cost to play normally isn't particularly terrible, because you shouldn't be playing it. Essentially, what you should be doing is trashing this card from your hand, and then playing it for free, which sounds like a pretty gosh darn good thing to me. Oh yeah, and on your turn, for each Nidhoggmon scatter mode that you have in your trash, you gain 2,000 power. Now, if you've got 3 in your trash, that is going to put you up to 11,000. 11,000 is the average for a level 6. That's pretty good. If you've got 4 in your trash, you've got 13,000, which basically means you are going to be in a position where you're just deleting level 6s, and only the most powerful of them, like the aforementioned Nidhoggmon, will be able to delete you as well. Not instead of, just as well. So this is really kind of good. And obviously, purple, they like milling. They like trashing their own cards. They like building up their trash and playing from the trash. Itmon's one of the first cards we saw along these lines. On deletion, you trash the top 3 cards of your deck, and you can just keep going. Now, obviously, we're going to need ways to trash cards from our hand for both the first skill and just to have Nidhoggmon scatter mode in your trash, but we've got a million ways of doing so. Gabumon, when deleted as an inheritable skill, you draw 2, and then trash a card from your hand. Pumpkinmon as a level 5 has the exact same skill. Demimeramon, when you are deleted, you draw 1, but then you trash a card from your hand. So we've got plenty of, and I'm just giving examples here, right? There are plenty more. I'm not going to go through every purple card that can trash from your hand. There are a bunch of them. The point is that we have a bunch of ways of doing so. And if you're playing that kind of purple deck, this becomes awesome. Like, genuinely, brilliantly awesome. Because what you're doing is playing cards for free. And playing cards for free is good. And when it works, not only are you playing a card for free, but you're playing an 11 or 13,000 power level 4 for free. That is going to add up very, very quickly. Now we have an Orochimon coming as well. Now we are a level 5 here. 8 cost to play normally, 3 cost to Digivolve. And I'm fairly sure that's 8,000 power. We can just about what looks to be seeing an 8 on the top right, but also 8 cost 8,000 power for a level 5 sounds about right. So it's on the higher end of power, and it's on the higher end in order to play normally. But we've got a skill here. When this card is trashed from your hand due to one of your own effects, draw a card. So here we are full on into let's trash cards from our hand. let's just play one of those things, one of those decks that is just trashing cards from your hand. Because you know what? There is so much going on here. You know, we've got the Nidhoggmon that you can play for free. You've got the Orochimon that'll draw you a card. This is starting to look fun. Plus, we've got an inheritable skill that says, when you are attacking once per turn, you may trash a card from your hand to gain 1 memory. So now, not only do you have an advantage when this card is trashed from your hand, and draw power is good, incidentally, draw power is always good. Okay, unless you're gonna deck out, draw power is always good. And then we've actually got a skill as well, which lets you trash cards from your hand to take advantage of this and the Nidhoggmon, and this again is just another card. If you're playing this kind of deck, it is gonna help massively. And then we've got Nidhoggmon, who is a level 6, but is also an uncommon, so how excited are we gonna be getting here? Well, we've got a 12 cost to play normally, 3 cost to Digivolve, 11,000 power, so again, slightly on the higher end to play normally as this trio have been, and that is about it. But when this card is discarded from your hand using a card effect, you gain a memory. And as much as I like gaining a memory, and don't forget, if it's trashed from your hand using Orochimon, that will gain you 2 memory. You gain 1, well, from a Digimon that has Digivolved from Orochimon, I should say. You gain 1 memory from Orochimon's skill because you've trashed a card from your hand, and then 1 memory from Nidhoggmon because you've trashed Nidhoggmon from your hand. And on the one hand, I like being able to trash a card and gain 2 memory. That's really cool. On the other hand, do you really want to use your level 6 for that? Like, your level 6 is supposed to be your big bad card, which is what you're building your strategy around. It's what's going to pull you to victory, and you're using that to just trash from your hand and gain a memory? I mean, most of the time, I would rather trash Orochimon from my hand and draw a card. Maybe that's just me, but let's just say I don't think I really want to play Nidhoggmon just to trash it from my hand and gain a memory, especially given that Orochimon can trash any card from your hand to gain a memory. I don't think it's good enough. But when you Digivolve, you may trash 1 card from your hand, and if you do, you choose one of your opponent's Digimon that is level 4 or lower, and delete it. Which is weirdly parallel to Titamon, that when you Digivolve, you may trash a card from your hand, and then play a purple level 4 or lower Digimon from your trash without paying. So, Titamon, you trash a card from your hand to play a Digimon, and Nidhoggmon, you trash a card from your hand to delete one of your opponent's Digimon. And this one I like very much indeed. I should say our translation is from the lovely folks over at Ensan Gaming, and our translated proxies are from the lovely folks over at digimoncard.dev. And essentially what we've got here is just carrying on the theme. You are again trashing a card from your hand. If it's an Nidhoggmon, you get to play it for free. If it's an Orochimon, you get to draw a card. If it's a Nidhoggmon, you get to gain a memory. If you've got a Digimon that has Digivolved from Orochimon, you get to gain a memory there as well. And we're building up all the way along this skill to just give ourselves extra advantages, and I love it. I really like this. There is a question to be asked about how good it is, and whether this synergy, you know, Purple are the synergy masters, so to speak. They are the Digimon that have all of these fun combos. Is it better than all the others? I mean, there are other ones we can use along these lines. Ginkakumon from BT7. When attacking, you may trash a card in your hand to delete an opponent's level 3 Digimon, which incidentally is very similar to Nidhoggmon's Digivolution skill, which I appreciate, quite frankly. That's kind of cool. Ginkakumon's got an inheritable skill. When you trash a card in your hand with your own effect, gain a memory, which is not exactly the same as Orochimon, but Ginkakumon here, when you trash a card from your hand, you gain a memory. So Orochimon, when you attack, you trash a card to gain a memory, and then Ginkakumon goes, oh, you've trashed a card, gain a memory. And then, of course, if that card is Nidhoggmon, you gain a memory. So actually, if you go from Ginkakumon up into Orochimon, up into a level 6 attack and discard a Nidhoggmon or trash a Nidhoggmon from your hand, then you'll gain 1 memory from Nidhoggmon's ability, and 1 memory from Orochimon's inheritable ability, and 1 memory from Ginkakumon's inheritable ability. And at this stage, now we're talking. Because now I'm trashing a card from my hand and I'm potentially gaining 3 memory at once. And I told you I don't want to trash a Nidhoggmon from my hand to gain a memory, but trashing a Nidhoggmon to gain 3 memory? Well, that, ladies and gentlemen, is quite a bit different. I'm giving this whole thing 4 wassies. I think there is a lot of potential going on here. There are other weird combos that can be made with purple, and maybe they're going to end up being better. But we can play Digimon for free, we can draw cards, we can actually gain quite a bit of memory, and I'm starting to get a little bit excited here. But I want to know how you feel. So let me know in the comment section, would ya? Go nuts! Be nice! And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWasi. That's where we talk Digimon and a whole bunch of other card games. And please do consider checking out patreon.com/BTCG Radio, where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all kinds of fun things. But by far the most important thing as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching Wasi Plays.